Hey guys, this is Loony and you are watching episode 23 of the Loony Hardcore Adventure. In this episode, we find ourselves some furry friends. All the villages close to the base have been completely emptied out. There are no villagers and no cats living there anymore. So we had to go to the desert to find some cats, which we need to finally set up the creeper farm. This is the first time ever that I'm chasing cats in Minecraft and I was having a hard time. These fellas are way more agile than me, but eventually I managed to feed this one and he stopped right in place. So I gave him more fish and more fish and more fish. Then we moved on to the second one because I really only need a pair and then we can breed them with all the fish we have from the Guardian farm from there on onwards. So soon enough, me, my two adult cats, and a cute little kitten made our way back to base. With night setting on us along the way, I quickly rushed to get some wool and some wood, made a bed, and slept right there out in the open. After that, on the way back, we even found a little doggo, so I decided to take him with us as well. And soon enough, me and my newfound furry buddies made our way back to the base, where it was finally time to finish up the creeper farm. Now, most of the creeper farm was already in place, so I just had to finish the last few details. So while I figure out how to lay the tracks under these magma blocks for the collection system, let me quickly explain how a creeper farm works. If you want to spawn in creepers, you have to force out all other mobs while also getting a dark space. So all of these layers will have trapdoors right on top of them. That makes the total height for the layer not 2 blocks but 1.75. Which is not high enough for a skeleton and not high enough for a zombie, but it is high enough for a creeper. Now, with these height limitations, you still get spider spawns. So to prevent spider spawns, you prevent any spots existing in the layers that are 3 by 3 and are completely open. That's what the carpet is for, because carpet is a spawn-proof material since it is a collidable block. And it makes it so that there are no big open spaces left, meaning that we only get creepers. Now, we want these creepers to fall down to our magma blocks, which is the collection system and also the killing mechanism. The way to do that is scare them off. And that is what the cats are for. Cats terrify creepers, so if we put cats in the middle of these layers and lock them in place so they can't move, we will actually have all the creepers run outward and fall down, which allows us to collect the gunpowder. Now, that still leaves us with one issue we have to resolve. That is, this creeper farm is right next to the Guardian farm, so both kinds of mobs are gonna spawn in on the same mob cab. That means that the creeper farm and the Guardian farm are gonna kill each other's raids. Now, long term that would be a problem, but we have a fix for it because I don't need an infinite amount of gunpowder, and since the entire area is spawn-proof, this farm is gonna do pretty well. So what I'm doing is I'm making a system on the outside that allows me to turn on all the redstone lights with a flick of a lever, thereby effectively lighting up the inside of the farm and turning everything off. So I only have the creeper farm on when I need it, and the rest of the time my Guardian farm is on maximum rates. With the farm entirely finished, I realized that I forgot to put the trapdoors on the side of the layers. Now that is a big problem because you need the trapdoors there to allow the creepers to pathfind over them, which makes them drop all the way down to the magma and die. So I had to go back in and defuse a live bomb with creepers inside, which was kinda scary, but in the end it worked. The redstone wiring didn't really work the first time because I tried a system that didn't function. Right now I'm a little bit more experienced, so I would know how to fix it, but at this time I was struggling with it. So I decided, let's come back to this later and let the farm run for a little while. With the gunpowder out of the way and our sugarcane farm on the to-do board, next up was to industrialize smelting, because so far I've been dropping everything into furnaces with lava buckets, and those days were done. So I went to work and made a quick auto smelter where we just drop everything in and it evenly distributes across all these furnaces. Design for the creeper farm I got from a video by Ph1lza, and I'm not quite sure we originally came up with it. This design for the supersmelter is made by Mumbo Jumbo. I will link both of the videos down in the description, so if you want to build this yourself, you can check out a more in-depth tutorial. After getting the technical upgrades out of the way, it was time to get to work on something I find a little more exciting, because technical Minecraft is really great, but I think there is a lot of untapped potential for redstone designs that could be used for decoration rather than automation. So I set up a hopper clock combined with dispensers to make these active water pillars that flow down the sides of the building in a wave, empty out, and then refill again. At this point, it was also time to start redesigning the outside of the monument a little bit, because I want to keep the character, but I also want to make things a little more interesting. So I switched up the pillars a little bit. I made everything a little less blocky and rounded out the archways, and just tried to change a few details that wouldn't kill the character the building had, but just kind of polished it, made it a little bit cooler. And slowly but surely, things started to come together. Since I needed more blackstone to finish all the pillars, I moved on to the next part, which is something a little odd. I had to go mining for redstone, because I am all out. And this is the first time in the world that I have to mine for redstone. Maybe later we can make a witch farm, but it would be a huge time investment now, and I want to focus on getting this base built, so I went strip mining, not for diamonds, but for the red stuff. At this point in the world, 1.16 was just out, and it brought a lot of new cool features and blocks, but it also broke my guardian farm. I had fixed it kind of earlier by doing 3 layers of lava rather than 4, and at this point it wasn't enough to kill the guardians anymore, so I had to fix it. I went into the nether, collected a whole bunch of lava buckets, and did this scary thing, which was frightening at times. But we were alright, filled the entire thing up, put the glass back in place, and the guardian farm was up and running again in no time. With the farm restoration done, it was time to hit the switch, put the water back in there, and hopefully, have a working farm again. And when we went down to check it out, all the water was already in there. This system is so elegant. And luckily enough, it also started working again, and the guardians were actually dying. So the farm was back in working order. Next part of the build was supposed to be the heartbeat of the heart of the sea. These two tentacles would go over with redstone light strips. You could see them from down below in the base, and one redstone clock would connect both of the circuits together, thereby synchronizing the heartbeat. Unfortunately, I ran into some issues here that I didn't know about up front, and that is mostly the render distance of redstone lights. First part of the thing was going really well. We made these things, we put the hopper clocks on the bottom to make a test signal. We got all the observers in place, we carried the signal, lit all the redstone lamps. Everything was going really well. Until we went outside to look at it. Here everything goes alright. So then we checked both of the signals, and as you can see, the render is very laggy because the redstone lamps are just too far away to properly render. So I decided to put separate redstone clocks on the bottom of each with a little signal extender that fed the signal in twice, making the light strip a little longer, which looked better. And I was gonna leave it like this because I put in way too much work to get rid of the things, and at the same time I couldn't get them quite to where I wanted them. So it's gonna have to do as is. Even though it didn't work exactly as I had imagined it, it's still pretty awesome, especially at night. All in all, we did a lot of base progress, and I look forward to doing more next time. Thank you guys for watching another episode.